pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. We'll start by calling the roll. Mr. DeCenzi. Here. Mr. Bates. Here. Mr. Preston. Here. Mr. Guarino. Here. Ms. Carnabucci.
Here.
First item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda and addendum items.
Second.
Thank you. Ms. Carnabucci.
Yeah.
Mr. Preston.
Yes.
Mr. Innocenzi.
Yes.
Mr. Bates.
Yes.
And Mr. Guarino.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is to approve or amend the meeting minutes from June 20th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments on those minutes? Not, we'll call the vote. Mr. Guarino.
Yes.
Mr. Innocenzi.
Yes.
Ms. Carnabucci.
Yes.
Mr. Bates.
Yes.
And Mr. Preston.
Yes.
Thank you. Next up is a presentation of the financial statement. Turn it over to Jennifer Pay, our fiscal officer.
Presented is the monthly financial report as of June 30th. Really not too much of note. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Next up is presentation of payment report, formerly vouchers.
And at the last meeting, the bylaws were updated to change a lot of the verbiage regarding financial reporting, and one of those was vouchers. As I explained, vouchers and how we were presenting them were essentially payments that have occurred that the commissioners were approving after, so that could be potentially problematic. So what we're going to be doing going forward is showing just a vendor, so all of the vendors that the district has, what was done in that or the prior month, and then the year-to-date total, so you'll have a better idea of spending by vendor. So any questions about the vendor payments?
And we decided to do that by category, correct, rather than by vendor, or was it the other way
We're
around?
going to do it by vendor,
By vendor.
yes. Any questions with this report? And with any financial reports too, if there's anything that you would like to see or change or update, it could easily be done. It's just a matter of how much information you want in your packets each month.
I had one question.
Yes.
The expense to experiential systems
Was that it?
for training, it's listed alphabetically under experiential systems and professional and technical services. I think that I've seen that was for training. What does that entail?
And John Kohler is here.
That's the ropes course. The company comes out and trains the staff each year. So
that's an annual.
yes, it's an annual thing. And Trevor Wursler, our outdoor education specialist, over time, he can build up enough. You know, he came in 5 years ago with not much ropes experience. So the more he gets trained, the more hours he gets on the course, the less likely in the future we will have to have a company come out to train the staff. So that's not an infinite thing that we'll have to do forever, but for the time being, yeah.
Where's that line at that you're looking at?
It's under the alphabetical June voucher, so it's under E, experiential systems.
So they basically become the trainer.
Yep, they are the trainers, yeah. Originally, the company that built the course did the training for us, and then they sold the company. So this is the new company that, yeah.
And how many people are they actually training?
Well, this year it's probably about 7 or so. We have seasonals, I think 5 seasonals get trained, and Trevor, we also have full-time staff that get trained as backup, like I've even trained as a backup a couple of years ago. But yeah, so about a half a dozen on average.
What is our liability there?
Or liability on the ropes course. As far as insurance amounts, I know we have a rider of, I will have to check with Don Sweeney, you don't know.
Off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'll check and let you know.
Our butts are covered.
Yes. Yeah.
And they
And
still,
what-
oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
They still come in from Illinois, or you said that some?
This company's from Chicago.
Oh, from Chicago.
Yeah, and, but the company that they sold, the previous company was all the way from the West Coast. So in the past, obviously, we had to fly that company out, but now they drive, so,
Okay.
yeah. And they connect there, they do other ropes courses in the area, so it's kind of like a circuit they do. They come to ours and others, and they also inspect the course for us, and we have to, every single year, get it checked for safety. The zip line gets replaced every single year, that sort of thing.
Is there like a contract that came with the purchase of that ropes course that includes the training to some extent, or is that just something that you schedule?
Yeah, it's every year, yeah. So,
Okay.
and it's a specialty, so you can't, there's not too many companies out there that do it, and that are even in this region. So we were really happy to see it with Chicago. Hey, that saves a lot of money, not having a fly-in company that's, they just drive on over, so, yeah.
One of the in-field safety mechanisms that applies to our course and other courses out there is you have a tube belay system, so you're always clipped in, and they're magnetic. So until one transfers in between the next element that you go to do on that high ropes course, it won't allow you to unclip the other carabiner. So
Yeah, it's really safer than most outdoor recreational experiences. It's scary for sure, being held by a little rope, but the ropes that hold the public, I always tell people they can hold an automobile. So if they can hold that, then people are just little fleas compared to that. So it's still not easy, but it's as safe as possible for sure.
any other questions on our payments? The month of June? Now, we'll go ahead and move on to old business and the ongoing topic of finance work sessions. The topic this month is banking and investments.
Thank you. As of June 30th, the Park District had a combined bank balance of over $7.6 million. The treasury is held in 3 separate accounts. 2 accounts, a checking and shadow account, are with the Middlefield Banking Company, and there is another checking account with Huntington Bank. The Middlefield Banking Company checking account maintains a balance of $1 million daily to make payments and accept deposits. And then the shadow account is an interest-bearing account consisting of CDARS, or Certificate of Deposit Account Registry Service. That's what CDARS stands for, which are FDIC-insured institutions. And I included last month's or the prior month's bank statement to see a listing of those various certificates of deposit. The Huntington checking account balance averages less than $20,000 and is used strictly for the district's merchant services, otherwise known as the ability to accept credit card payments. The Middlefield Banking Company accounts are reconciled each business day using the financial system, UAN, and the Huntington account is reconciled each month. And the shadow account is what keeps the checking account at that $1 million. So if it ever falls below that $1 million balance, the shadow account sweeps to it. And so we always keep $1 million in our checking. Other than the interest-bearing CDARS in the shadow account, the district does not currently have any investments. Government entities in Ohio are very limited by law in what they can invest as well as the duration of those investments. Nevertheless, the Finance Department will be creating and submitting an investment policy for the Board of Commissioners to review in an upcoming meeting. Once an investment policy is in place and on file with the state auditor's office, then GPD can explore other potential investments to increase interest revenue. So that is high level of our banking and investments for the district currently. Any questions
How
about
many
that?
signatures do we require on checks? One or two?
One for anything under 50,000, anything over 50,000, there's two.